All right, I'm gonna talk to you for about an hour, and it's weird. It's weird what I do. Somebody asked me once if it takes confidence to. Nobody asked me, but I just want to talk about this. If it takes, it does take confidence to do this. It takes a not a general confidence, but a specific kind. You know, there's lots of kinds of confidence. There's personal confidence. I don't have much of that. Personal confidence is like a man wearing white pants. That takes, you know, tremendous confidence and optimism, really. To leave the house in white pants like it's gonna be a great day. There's gonna be no puddles or pizza, nothing. I could never wear white pants because I'll get my period, first of all, I know that. Or diarrhea, more likely. That's really my period. Diarrhea. About once a month, I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Better just get home. And don't make any big decisions today. It's true, don't make, if you have diarrhea, don't negotiate. It's a bad bargaining position. If I have diarrhea, you stand between me and the toilet, I'll sell you my house for 10 cents. So that's one kind of confidence. Here's another kind, moral confidence. Moral confidence, that means knowing that you would do the right thing, knowing that you wouldn't do something wrong. Moral confidence. You can have that in your daily life because a lot of your days are the same. But what if you were in another time? I would love to believe, I feel confident that I would not have had slaves. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have had any. Even if I lived in 17 whatever in Virginia and all my neighbors had slaves, I would have been like, you guys are dicks. I can say that, but it's easy to say that now because you can't get no slaves. You just can't get any. That's why you don't have slaves. It's not because you're better than back then people. It's because they're not available. That's a huge contributing factor. It's not a decision you need to make every day, like you're crying your groceries, but oh, fuck, maybe I should, I don't know, I better not, but geez, it would be easier. Because they're not there. It's not like they have slaves at Home Depot. I mean, they kind of do. But, yeah. There are some forms of kind of slavery. You can get a Russian woman to do whatever you want because her family's hostage. That's one of them. But that's still temporary. I mean, you could adopt like a 12-year-old from Bangladesh and... I mean, really, he'll move into your house and do your laundry and suck your dick, whatever you want. But even he gets to leave when he's 18. Although, who wants someone when they're that old? I'm just saying, excuse me. I'm just saying that slavery gets rebranded, but it doesn't really ever totally go away. I mean, it's been part of human history. Going way back, slavery. Even the earliest civilizations in Mesopotamia, I don't know if I didn't go to college, I don't know anything. But the earliest images of human life already had the guys going, ugh, and the guy going, ah, burn. How early did we come up with this? From the beginning of human existence, we evolved, through ideas. We were a scared, naked ape. And then we were like, make a fire, it's a good idea. Kill an animal and take his fur, it's a good idea. Plant things and then wait, it's a good idea. But really quickly we came up with, just make them fucking do it. I'm not doing anything. I'm doing nothing, make them fucking do it. That was like our third thing we did on Earth. So you can have confidence, but you got to be a little, I mean, there's things that people did in history that I wouldn't have done, for sure. Like, I wouldn't have made an Auschwitz. I wouldn't have done that. What am I going to do with an Auschwitz? Yeah, Auschwitz is not one of those where you're like, it was the times, you know? It was a horrible thing, obviously. Auschwitz, horrible. They killed people. They killed children. They killed little children in Auschwitz who could have grown up and moved to Brooklyn and hated black people, and they didn't get to do that. It's terrible. I know. I had a friend who's a comedian in England, and he made a joke about Auschwitz. And he got in a lot of trouble. There was a big shitstorm. And at one point, Auschwitz tweeted about his joke. It's true. It's an Auschwitz with a blue check. So it was like, oh, cool, it's really them, you know. And they tweeted like, that's not funny. Why is the death camp tweeting? Who's running the social accounts at Auschwitz? I got a summer job at Auschwitz. I'm running their Twitter. You know what I was thinking about today? I was thinking about Jesus. I was. Today, I was thinking about Jesus. And after I came, I thought, well, I feel sorry for Jesus. That's how I feel. I don't know how much you know about Jesus, but I feel fucking bad for Jesus, man. I do. He had a hard life. I mean, the last day was particularly difficult, but if you look at pictures of him, he had to wear that thong, that fucking just dish rag yanked up his balls, just carrying his cross like fuck, just a rash. Some people say you should live like Jesus. Who can live? He was insane. You can't live like that. He had a weird life. I'm reading about Jesus. I have this book about Jesus. I'm going to share it with you. Okay. This is a book about Jesus. Actually, only this much is about Jesus. Only that, just that part. The rest of it is just the Jews going like, and then we walked for 50 years in the desert, and we only had a little bit of oil. It was difficult. It's fucking verbose. The Jew, look at that, just Jews. It just goes on and on. And then Jacob bought a goat, and Abraham lived to be 800. Yeah, I bet he fucking did, too. The Jews in the early chapters are all like 800 years old. And then God was like, I can with these fucking Jews for 800 years. Heart disease starts today. So that's them. And that's Jesus. All those little parts, Jesus. And the weird part is it's not all, like, it's all the same story over and over again. They tell the same story about Jesus' life over again. First Matthew tells it, and then Mark is like, dude, that's not what, you're fucking drunk. Here's what happened. I'll tell you what happened. Hey, Paul, you weren't even here. Shut the fuck up. And I started reading it because I never read it. I was raised Catholic, but they don't encourage you to read in the church. They don't. They don't want you to read this. You know, Jews read this shit in Hebrew. And Baptists sit down, they read together. But the Catholics, they want you to come in the building. They want you to come in, and they tell you. And you're like, can I read it? And they're like, no, I'll tell you what happened. You know, sorry, put the book down. But it's interesting because when you read the stories, you know, you think of them as lofty, kind of like, but some of them are just basic life in the Jesus life. Okay, here's one. This is when he turned water into wine. This is his first miracle. This is John chapter 2, okay? Okay, and on the third day, there was a wedding in Cana of Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. And both Jesus was called and his disciples to the wedding. And when they wanted wine, the mother of Jesus saith unto him, They have no wine here. And Jesus saith unto her, Woman, what have I to do with thee? Just life. Mary was a fucking alcoholic. He took her to a wedding, and there's no fucking wine, Jesus. What am I supposed to do here without wine? And he's like, Mom! Don't! Anyway, you know the rest of the story is that Jesus, he's at the wedding, they had no wine. So Jesus went to the guy running the wedding, and he was like, look in the water barrel. Like that, like a close-up magician. Why don't you take a look? Maybe it's not the Red Queen. Go ahead, flip that card over. What do you think? Told him to look in the water barrel, and he looked, and it was wine. He had turned all their water into wine. Everybody rejoiced. Except the guy running the wedding was probably like, we did need some water. It's actually a bigger problem. I have a feeling a lot of his miracles were met with mixed. Like, oh, thanks. That's great, Jesus. Fuck. Like Lazarus. Lazarus had been dead for 4 days. And Jesus comes to town and he says, Lazarus, rise. And Lazarus comes out of the tomb like, and Lazarus' wife is like, are you fucking kidding me right now? But so here's a story, though, I want to read to you. This story, I've never seen it in a Jesus movie. This story is not in any movies about Jesus. And it's not, I've never, until I sat and read this, I never heard this story. Because it's weird. This is the story of Jesus cursing a fig tree. Does anybody by applause know of this story? Okay, that's just enough to make it clear. This is true. I mean, nothing's true in here. But I'm just kidding. I don't fucking know. What do I know? I wasn't there. I'm just trying to make it clear that I didn't make it up. They did. But anyway, all right, I don't know. Okay, here's the story. This is Mark chapter 11. It's when Mark went broke. Okay. And Jesus entered into Jerusalem, and when he had looked around about and seen all things, and the eventide was come, he went out unto Bethany with the 12. See, Bethany was like a suburb of Jerusalem. So he went in Jerusalem. You know, you see all the shit downtown, but you don't stay downtown. You go to the Marriott by the airport. You know? That's what Bethany was. Okay? And on the morrow, when they come from Bethany, Jesus was hungry. And seeing a fig tree afar off, having leaves, he came to it, if haply he might find anything thereon. But when he came to the tree, he found nothing but leaves, for the time of figs was not yet. And Jesus answered and saith unto the tree, No man shall eat fruit of thee hereafter and forever. And the disciples heard it. And in the morning when they passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots and dead. And Peter, calling to remembrance, saith unto him, Master, behold, the fig tree which thou dost cursest has withered away and died. And Jesus answered and saith unto them, Have faith in God. What the fuck kind of a Jesus story is that? Hey, Jesus, you killed a tree. That's right, motherfucker. What's the fucking point to this story? What is the moral? That Jesus just killed a tree. He was hungry. He was fucking cranky. He was like, there's no fig. Fuck you, tree. You're fucking dead, you piece of shit. I wanted a fig. You're fucking dead. Watch this. And the tree's like, but the time of figs is not yet. It's just not yet. I need another week. You want fruit out of season? Go to Whole Foods, you fucking Jew. I didn't do anything. I mean, you can't act like that, man. You can't act like that. You walk around acting like that, folks will nail you to a cross. That's what they'll do. They will. You gotta fucking cool it, Jesus. He got a little, you know. That's really what happened. Got a little shitty. A little big, you know. He went to Jerusalem. It's a big town for a boy from Galilee. And he didn't just walk into Jerusalem. He walked in and his friends were like, King of the Jews, y'all. King of the motherfucking Jews. The Jews didn't like that. The Jews were like, not my president, whatever, you know. So they nailed him to a cross. This is what they did. And this, the weirdest thing to me about Catholicism and all Christianity is this image. This image is the image of the biggest, most powerful religion, the cleanest religion. And it's a fucking dead guy with nails, just blood. And it's in every polite room in the world. Every nice, quiet place is a fucking Jesus. And the president and his wife, and they wear pearls, and then we always go to look at the fucking, it's just weird. Because it promotes nicely ideas like honor thy mother and thy father, because they, it's just macabre. But I love it. I love the image. I love it. I was raised Catholic my whole life. I love this image. I stare at it. Every time I go by a church, if it's open, I go in because I want to see their Jesus. They all have a different Jesus. They're a little different. Some of them he's really suffering. And some of them he's just like, oh, well. I really got myself in a noodle this time, boy. Sometimes it's just a cross, like, oh, fuck, where'd he go? Jesus got away. But they're all different. I was in a Korean church, and I saw a Korean Jesus. They had a Korean Jesus with the... Don't get mad. How else would I know? It was just, what, Korean Jesus? Ooh, whatever. Jesus looks different. Mostly Jesus has blonde hair and blue eyes, which we know he didn't have, but that's who won everything, so they get to draw him. The truth is Jesus was black, but you don't see that often, black Jesus. Hey man, get me the fuck down from here. Whatever, all right. But everybody wants Jesus to look like them, so they draw him to look like them. That's why I don't like that he's always skinny. Jesus is always rail, just fucking, I've been doing Pilates for months getting ready for this. It's not fair. You never see a fat Jesus. I never one time saw like just a fat Jesus. With like 10 nails in each hand. He might have been fat. We don't know. I'll tell you what Jesus was not, is Korean. There's no Koreans in Jerusalem in the year 1. I'm glad I got girls, though. Girls are great. I don't want to clean shit off of some kid's balls. I'm glad that's not my job. I don't. Boys, if
feel weird about them. I have nephews, they come over and they play in the sprinkler naked with their little red dicks, and I just don't like their little penises bother me. I don't know, I just get this weird feeling like they're gonna come over and fuck my nose or something with their little dicks. I know it's an irrational fear, but it's very real to me. I'm gonna fall asleep in a lawn chair and wake up. Fuck! What are you doing? He's fucking my nose. She's like, fuck, get out of there. Control your kids, could you? They're fucking my nose while I'm sleeping. Boys are hard to raise, man. All my sisters have boys, and I just feel for them because it's really hard, and they really do. Here's the thing, though. Girls are just as hard to raise, but on a whole other level. They're different. Here's the difference to me between boys and girls. Boys fuck things up. Girls are fucked up. That's the difference. Boys just do damage to your house that you could measure in dollars like a hurricane. Girls, like, leave scars in your psyche that you find later, like a genocide or an atrocity. Like, my sister-in-law came over once with her little boy. He's like 4 years old, and she comes over, and she's been with him all day, so she's in bad shape. She's got a drink, and she's like, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. And I put like an army blanket around her, trying to calm her down. And then her little boy walks after her. He's got a handful of sand. I don't know where he got it. There's no sand in my home. He's got a handful of it. Walks up to his mom and just throws it right in her drink. It's all she had. And he just ruined it. Really confident, too, not like this. He was like, yeah, that's where that shit goes, right there. And I was blown away by this because I have girls, they would never dream of doing that. It wouldn't even enter their heads that a person could do that. But they're fucked up. Like my 5-year-old, the other day, one of her toys broke. And she demanded that I break her sister's toy to make it fair. And I did. That's how much shit she gave me. I broke the little toy, and I felt awful. I was like crying. And I look at her, she's got this creepy smile on her face. That's the difference between boys and girls. And it becomes the difference between men and women, really. Because a man will, like, steal your car, or burn your house down, or beat the shit out of you. But a woman will ruin your fucking life. Do you see the difference? Like, a man will cut your arm off and throw it in a river. But he'll leave you as a human being intact. He won't fuck with who you are. Women are non-violent, but they will shit inside of your heart. I can't take care of myself. And I'm always just uncomfortable, just sweaty, and just like this is such a bummer. Like, it's my nightmare. It's my whole life. Best thing that ever happened to me was boxer briefs. I'm so happy about boxer briefs. It doesn't seem like a big deal to most people, but before boxer briefs, I was trapped between the two awful worlds of briefs and boxers. Briefs are for normal man with one leg here and one leg here. Two totally separate legs with a whole area between. And the briefs go up into this little valley, this little area, and they come down like this, and they can just tuck up in there and just hold them nicely. Because he's got all that air and negative space. But this is just all just mashed together, just upsetting, stingy, red, sweaty, just like, this looks like a pig's ass when I'm naked. Like, even my dick is curly like the tail. Like, this is a pig's ass. And I'd pull briefs on, and they just go, and they just grab my dick and balls. Like, here's your balls, you fat bastard. You like that? And they just dig up in there with this viciously sharp cotton, and after a while, I'd have just this wad of just damp cloth, just a wad of wet cotton, just like the size of a tennis ball, like a huge wad of wet cotton. And boxers were worse because they just let everything flap around and touch each other and upset each other. I need everything to be segregated down here. I need everything would stick and just get. And also, when I had boxers on, for some reason, I always had just water, like a quarter cup of water, just sloshing around my asshole all the time. Just there's water. It's hovering around my asshole, defying gravity, just like an upside down glass of water in my ass. I gotta manage because I can't stop eating. I exercise a lot. I run 5 miles every other day to manage to maintain this shit body that I have. Because the food, man, I eat like high octane crap. Like I love America. I love it here. It's not what it used to be. It's kind of me and my wife and kids, we live in upstate New York. And it's one of these areas where we're in a suburb of Walmart, basically, It's just Walmart and Walgreens and Rent-A-Center. Do you know what Rent-A-Center is? Do you know what goes on in a Rent-A-Center? People go to Rent-A-Center to rent like a chair. Or a couch. How shitty is your shitty, very shitty life that you need to rent a lamp for $40 a month? And then you go broke and you gotta go, honey, they're gonna take the lamp today. Because we didn't pay the lamp rent. So I go to Walgreens. I just kept going. And Walgreens is depressing because it's a drugstore, but they sell whatever. I go in there, they're selling sweatpants. Right when you walk in, a big rack of sweatpants. It's a drugstore, but they're like, somebody brought them sweatpants, they said, fuck it, they'll buy them, just put them out, it's fine. Right next to the sweatpants, vodka. Big plastic squirt top jugs of shit vodka. How depressing is that? Sweatpants and vodka. That's a whole identity right there. You could buy those two things and just go be that guy in the parking lot of the Walgreens. You know that dude in the sweatpants and no shirt just laying there? His belly's the color of the pavement. He's like a chameleon. He's been sleeping there so long. You know those bums that smell amazing? Like what? Like you kind of can't help fantasizing about really smelling them on purpose. I don't know if you do that, but when you smell a bum and you're like, what if I just really dug in there on purpose and wow, like would he change me or? And I go to Walgreens and they're selling, I'm going to the back of the pharmacy too, and the pharmacy is the most depressing place in the world. People in Walgreens are just milling around in flip-flops and hitting their kids in the toy aisle, like beating their kids in front of toys. And then they go and buy medication and they don't have insurance. They think they have insurance and they way don't. And every moment, it's like a hidden camera joke. On all these people, it happens, it breaks my heart. They come up, they have a prescription. They're really happy because there's a solution to their problem in their hands. The doctor said, take that, you'll be fine. So they give it to the pharmacist and he goes, yeah, it's gonna be $40,000 for that. And the guy's like, what? But I have insurance. Now we called, they said, fuck you. No. And And then the guy always gives him like chewed up gum with hair in it and says, take this. This is what you get. This is your... And they always ask, is this as good as the other one? Fucking no, of course not. The other shit would have cured you completely. And we got shitloads of it too. But none for you, you poor faggot. Go home and die.
My youngest daughter really likes dolls, and she has an American Girl doll. Her mom bought it for her. I wouldn't have bought her that shit. Bunch of rubber fucking crap. I don't know if you're aware of American Girl dolls, but American Girl dolls are these rubber dolls, and they have outfits and they have accessories. It's kind of an amazing world. And I was in California with my kids, and I took my daughter to the American Girl doll mecca. It's this store, and it's like a museum of the dolls, you know. And they show you what each doll has. There's all these different dolls with different personalities, you know. There's Caroline, and Caroline is a princess, but she really hangs out with the poor folks. You know, it's always like, this one lives in a mansion, but she just thinks it's silly because she's cool. And they have all these accessories. They have horses, these beautiful horses. I was a grown man, and I'm like petting this toy horse. Hey, boy, that's okay, boy. They have bicycles, like a nice fucking bike. Like a bike that if you were this big, you could totally ride it. It's got a chain with oil. It's a fucking bike. Amazing shit. And I'm looking at all the dolls and their different personalities, and the one on the end, there's one black doll. They make one black American Girl doll. And I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to see how that's different. I just don't want to know. Please let them have just made it the same. Couldn't they have just taken whatever chocolate rubber and poured it in the same molds and give them all the same cool shit? So I go in there into the room for the black doll. It's Addie the black doll. That's not what they call her. It's Addie the black doll. She's just Addie. She's black. I go in there, and there's Addie, and guess what she gets to have? Guess what her accessories are? She has a bucket. That's it. She has one whole bucket. Go to the fucking store and call me a liar. You will see a little black doll sitting on a shitty wooden bed with a ripped quilt on it, and she's just looking at a bucket. That's all she has. It's shocking. Caroline has a silver hairbrush and a sleigh. Addie gets a fucking bucket. Who's buying this doll? Who would want to buy that doll? Who's taking their black daughter and, come on, this one's for you. Look in here. Look what she has. She gets a bucket. Well, can I get the bicycle from the... No. That's Caroline's bicycle. Who is this for? The only kid that could possibly want this doll is a mean little white girl that wants to buy a black doll and say, you only get a bucket. I used to be a very critical person. I don't get upset at other people's actions as much as I used to. You know, and one thing that's made me not so critical is reading things on the internet of people getting so angry at each other, like people that write long articles about how mad they are at a thing that people sometimes do. And the articles are very long because they don't have to be short anymore. I think newspapers were a little better because you had to be careful. Like, we only have this much room to tell about a whole war. So you have to be really artful about it, and then anybody who wants the job to write that much has to be really fucking good. But the internet is forever. So you just come in and you go, I want to write a story about how trees are annoying. Totally, just fucking do it, I don't care. Just write 7 years about it. And the headline to the articles are always something like, it's a whole sentence. It's not like, why trees or something provocative. It's like, I don't like trees that much, and I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm just sort of sick of them. So that's what this article is about, and I have to pee. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Okay, I peed. Hi, everybody. Here's the article.
But anyway, I was reading this one about a guy who was really upset about people taking pictures of their food at restaurants. And it was one of those where he's like, can we stop with the taking pictures of your fucking food? If I get another Instagram of a fucking appetizer, it's ruining America. I'm like, let her take a picture of her food. Let her do it. She's eating alone. She's by herself. I eat alone all the time. And I'm always eating next to people. If you're eating alone, you're always eating next to people that are together. And by the way, if you're ever with somebody at dinner and there's a person sitting alone right here, they're with you. They are in your conversation. They're just looking straight ahead at what? At nothing. You really think they're just boo? They just, every word you say, they're just gathering it. So anyway, I was at a restaurant and I was listening to these two young women that were talking. And they were about 20 years old, maybe NYU students. And one is telling the other about the guy she's dating. And she's telling her all the unsatisfactory things about the guy. She's like, I don't know, sometimes I text him, and he doesn't text back right away. And then when he does, it didn't have anything to do with what I wrote. I'm like, why do you even write me? And then I went to see him, and he was just being weird. And then he wrote me, I'm sorry I'm being weird. It's weird right now. And I was like, I didn't even say anything. Why are you even saying anything? It just sounds like when he writes to me. But he doesn't really think about what I would want to hear. It just seems like it's just always just. So I'm listening to this because I'm interested in what her friend's gonna say. I want to know what kind of friend she has. So after a while, her friend says to her, well, he's just a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. And the thing is that you're amazing. You're amazing, and he just can't handle it. And I thought, this is not a good friend. Because give your friend something useful. Maybe you're a bummer sometimes. Maybe you bummed him out because you're a boring bummer. Is that possible? Let her consider that. It doesn't help a person to walk around thinking, I'm amazing. And anybody who doesn't text me back right away just can't handle how amazing I am. There's some other NYU kid walking around telling his friends, I'm dating this girl and I can't handle how amazing she is. It's too much. I try to text her back, but I'm I can't, she's too amazing. I just can't handle it. I wish she was less amazing. How is she amazing, by the way? She's 20. You can't be amazing yet. If you're 20, unless you have some missing limbs, you're not amazing. What is she, Nelson Mandela already? She's a fucking kid. You're amazing the way you take those classes. You don't need to walk around thinking that you're amazing. That doesn't help you. It's not a healthy thing. Self-love is a good thing, but self-awareness is more useful to the rest of us if you can master that. Because it's nice to walk around saying to yourself, I'm amazing, I'm incredible, but really, once in a while, you should say to yourself, maybe I'm a bummer. Maybe I'm a boring bummer. If you don't think that to yourself at least twice a week, you're a psychopath. Because everybody's capable of becoming a bummer. Of course we are. Everybody is. Once in a while you drift over and you realize, oh, fuck, I'm kind of a douche right now. And you reset your sights. You have to consider the possibility. It's like when you say to a friend of yours, sometimes a friend of yours will be an asshole. He becomes an asshole. And you tell him, hey, man, you're an asshole. And he's like, no, I'm not. Well, that's not up to you. That's up to everybody else if you're an asshole or not. You don't get to just say no to that. You're an asshole. No, I'm not. Oh, sorry. Well, I'm glad I checked. Self-awareness is not a great American trait. As a country, we just want what we want, and then we just do shit. America is like a shitty girlfriend. It really is. America is like the worst girlfriend the whole rest of the world ever had. Because whenever something bad happens to America, she remembers it forever. Like it just happened. But if she does anything wrong, she's like, what? I didn't do it. What are you talking about? I didn't do that. But you killed hundreds of thousands of people in the Middle East. Yeah, but 9/11, okay? You don't even know. Assholes. Yeah, but there's this wedding in Yemen and you killed all these. Yeah, but 9/11 still. But now you're torturing people. It wasn't even torture. Oh my God. He's such a baby. And I'm saying this about women because I'm a guy. I'm the opposite sex. So that's how I'm sure women feel that way about guys. It's just the way it works. That's how we feel about each other sometimes. You know, it's like sexism and racism are very different, I think. Because racism is just like a mistake. Racism has no basis in anything. It's just a weird mistake we made it somewhere along the line, and I'm sure we'll get rid of it at some point. But sexism ain't going anywhere. Because as wrong as sexism is, it's down deep, and it's wired in with lust and love. And when we get mad at you, we get mad at all you. Just, oh, women! 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 Oh, women! Women! Oh, women! And you're like, men, 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 man, 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 man. All right, you guys, get home safe. Thanks a lot for coming. Good night. Thank you very, very much. At some point, I mean, everybody dies at some point. I hope I'm not breaking that to anybody here. It's an interesting thing about human beings. We grow up with the knowledge that we're going to die. We live with it. We live our whole lives knowing that it's going to end. I think that takes courage. I admire us for being able to do that. Other animals don't do that. Other living beings, they don't think about, well, fuck, I might as well. I don't know why I'm going to die. They just do whatever they do. You know, they live in the moment. You ever seen a dog sneeze? Whenever a dog sneezes, first of all, their whole world explodes. And when the sneeze is over, they don't know anything anymore. They got to start their whole education from scratch. You ever seen a dog walk in a room looking pretty intelligent? Hey, everybody. What the fuck? But we know we're going to die. I found out when I was 7 years old that everybody dies. My grandfather told me. He said, everybody dies. I wasn't even talking to him. I was just trying to blow out the candles. Yeah, I was 7 years old, and I suddenly had this knowledge that everybody dies, that life ends for all of us. And I remember I was excited. I wasn't excited to die. I was excited that I know this thing. And I was 7, and I knew other kids my age didn't know it. And I wanted to tell them. I wanted to be the person that tells people that everybody dies. I remember having that thought. And the first person I wanted to tell was Benji, this kid across the street. And I wanted to tell him because I hated him. I really did. I hated Benji. He was 6 and I was 7. And I wasn't friends with him. I would just, anytime I came out to my front yard, he'd come out to his, hi. And I hated him. He's the first person I ever hated. To me, he was a piece of shit cocksucker. That's how I felt about him. And I didn't even know those words. I was 7. I didn't know how to talk like that. So I would just look at him and I would just feel that way without a name for it. And then one day I heard some guy yell, piece of shit cocksucker, and I was like, yes, thank you. That's exactly what I feel about that child. Anyway, one day, I'm in my front yard, and piece of shit cocksucker Benji comes out in his little shorts. I was like, ugh. Comes out to me, he starts bragging, he's like, I got a new bike. And I was like, really? You're gonna die someday. He's like, what? I'm like, you're gonna die, Benji. And he's like, no, I'm not. I said, yes, you are. He goes, how do you know? I said, because everybody dies, Benji. You're gonna die. And your mom's gonna die. And your daddy's gonna die. In that order. Anyway, he started crying. And he starts running back. It's still funny to me after 40 fucking years. I still remember it so well. Little Benji running into his house. Run, Benji! You can't run from this shit, bitch! He ran in his house, and then he came back out with his mother. And his mom's got his little hand, and she's furious. And I was scared. She walks up, she says, what did you say to Benji? I said, I told him that everybody dies. She said, why did you say that? I said, because it's true. And she said, well, not necessarily. I was like, what? She says, well, some people die and some people don't. So you never know. You might make it. Make it to what? And my head was spinning. I was like, wait a minute. So I'm like, I have so many questions for her. I was like, wait a minute. What about people from the Bible? I mean, they're all gone. What about Abraham Lincoln? He died. She's like, well, somebody shot Abraham Lincoln. But if they hadn't and he took care of himself, he might still be around today. I was like, really? And all of a sudden she goes, well, we have to go. And she just takes off. Like she walked away very quickly because I think she realized she picked the wrong argument to get on this side of, this was gonna end badly. And I ran inside and I told my mother the whole thing. My mother said, don't talk to that lady's a fucking idiot. Don't talk to that lady. I fucking hate that lady. Don't talk to her. My mom said to me, baby, don't worry. You're definitely going to die. Something's changed when you get older, you know? Like, I've reallocated some of the noises that I make. Like the noise I used to make when I come is now the noise I make when I pee. Oh, fuck, yeah. Take it all, bitch. I'm very disrespectful to my toilet. Unfortunately, yeah, bitch, you like that, don't you? I'm gonna shit in your mouth, too, because you ain't nothing but a shitty, piss-drinking tell-it. Dumb bitch, tell it. Got my piss on your lips. You ain't intelligent. What do? You sit there all day on your ass, waiting for me to shit in your face. Dumb bitch, tell it. Puh. You ain't even special. I pissed in 3 toilets today. Shit. Quit crying. I love you. It's bad. Well, that's how my dad treated his toilet, so that's where I learned it. Anyway, that's the noise I make when I pee. Some of you might be wondering, none of you are wondering, what noise do I make when I come? Okay, so this is the noise I make when I come. It's not that special, I just go like this. It is done! It's a whole thing with a cloud with funnels of... the crows come and there's lightning. The circle is complete! And there's a little witch floating with white eyes. And a child will be born, and then... And I don't know, it's kind of intense. And some kid throws a lightning bolt at me, and I go, ah! And I go to sleep for 1,000 years. It's a...
Anyway, you know, I got kids, and sort of what I'm trying to say. It's hard having kids because it's boring. That really is the hardest part of having kids. Ask any parent, what's the hard part? Is it looking after their health care? Is it making sure that their education? No, it's just being with them on the floor while they be children. It's just, they read Clifford the Big Red Dog to you at a rate of 50 minutes a page, and you have to sit there and be horribly proud and bored at the same time. I hate Clifford the Big Red Dog. I hate him. There's 50 books about Clifford the Big Red Dog. 50 books. There's 7 books about Narnia that cover the birth and death of a nation and mice with swords and a lion who's a god. They did it in 7 books. 50 books about Clifford the Big Red Dog. And they all tell the exact same story. Look how big this dog is. That's it. That's it. Look how big this dog is. It's the whole book. Here's how big he was at the firehouse. Here's how big he was at Thanksgiving. Who gives a shit? You just drew him big. You just on purpose made him bigger than people. It should be, look how big I drew the dog in this book. Isn't that a mistake? There's no story. You maybe even just drew him closer to the page. I don't even know if you did it honestly. Tell a story about Clifford. Make something happen where maybe he steps on a policeman and shatters his spine, and it's devastating to the community. He hangs on for 2 months and then dies. And there's a whole, funeral with bagpipes and everybody's crying. And Clifford gets the death penalty, and there's a whole book about his appeal process and how he found Jesus, but everybody said it was bullshit. And the cop's wife was like, I want that dog dead. And then he goes to the chair and they shave all his red fur off, and now he's Clifford the big pink dog. And they put him on a big funny electric chair that the town got together and built. At least you should be good just to the people, just turn a good face to the people that you see in life. I don't do that either. Because when I get in the elevator in my building, that's my first contact with human beings always, after being home and just being disgusting for hours. Then I come out in the elevator, and there's always a guy in my elevator who's nice, and I hate it. I get really upset when people say nice things to me. That's not a good impulse. I get in the elevator, and there's always this one guy who he sticks his face right in the front of his fucking head, and he just floats it out there like a big balloon, Hey, how's it going? I get upset, I get cagey, I get this weird impulse that I want to come on his face. I don't know why that's the thing, but that's what I think about, is that I wish I could just secrete cum without the sexual workup, like, as a defense, like a squid or a skunk. Not sexually, I mean aggressively. Hi. Jesus, man. You just came in my eye. I just want to go downstairs. I don't want to talk. All right, this is going a little off the rails. I don't remember what I was trying to say. I'd like to be a better person. I would. I'd like to be a better person. I was on a plane once, and I was flying first class because I had a thing. I fly first class. Who cares? Just, that's the way it is. I'm not like you. I'm not. All the things you do, I do a better version of all those things. And it's only for another year at the most, believe me. It's not gonna last. It's been about 8 months, I got a year left, and then I'm back to being just like you. But for now, it's pretty good. So, I'm in a first class seat, and first class is so crazily better. It's so much better. You get a bigger seat, you get food, but also you get to sit, and first, you get to sit before anybody else does. They sit you down, and you get to just sit there with champagne and watch all the sweaty, just miserable, all the single moms hefting their stroller and the kid. And you're like, oh, that looks heavy and nobody's helping you. That's a drag. And you get to just... Anyway, so I was on a plane, I'm first class, and a soldier gets on a plane. I see soldiers fly all the time, because that's how they get to the war. They fly on a shitty airline. You think they get to go in a cool green plane with a red light, go, go, go! No, they just go to Delta, and they just wait in line to go to a war. And they always fly coach. I've never seen a soldier in first class in my life. It could be a full bird colonel, he's between two fat guys in coach. And they're always nice. I've never seen a soldier get on a plane like, hey, I'm in the army. Fuck you. I have a gun.